every situation. Be happy story. Life is a journey full of twists and turns, with moments of joy and sorrow, triumphs and failures. Yet, within this unpredictable adventure lies a powerful truth. Happiness is not just a result of our circumstances, but a choice we make in every situation. The power of perspective. Consider the story of Jane, a woman who faced immense challenges. Jane lost her job unexpectedly after 20 years of dedicated service. The news hit her hard. She was the primary breadwinner in her family, and the sudden loss of income was terrifying. But instead of sinking into despair, Jane chose to see this as an opportunity rather than a setback. She had always dreamed of starting her own business, but had never found the time or courage to pursue it. Now, with her job gone, she had no excuses left. Jane began to view her situation not as a crisis, but as a chance to reinvent herself. She enrolled in a small business course, researched her market, and within a year, she had launched a successful online store. Jane's story is a testament to the idea that our happiness often hinges on our perspective. What might seem like a disaster can, with the right mindset, become the start of something wonderful. Resilience in the face of adversity. Happiness in every situation doesn't mean denying the pain or challenges we face. It's about resilience, finding the strength to keep going despite them. Take the example of Michael, who was diagnosed with a chronic illness at the age of 35. His diagnosis was a blow. His life, once filled with active sports and outdoor adventures, was now limited by his condition. Michael's initial reaction was one of anger and frustration. He grieved for the life he had lost, but slowly, he began to realize that while his body had changed, his spirit hadn't. He started to explore new hobbies that didn't require physical exertion, reading, painting, and even playing the piano, something he had always wanted to learn but never had the time for.
Michael's story shows that happiness doesn't always come from external circumstances. Instead, it's about adapting to our new reality and finding joy in different ways. Even in the face of adversity, we can discover new passions and a renewed sense of purpose. Finding gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool in cultivating happiness. Even in difficult times, it's easy to focus on what's wrong, but shifting our focus to what's right can make a world of difference. Take the example of Emily, a single mother who struggled to make her ends meet after her husband passed away. The weight of responsibility was overwhelming, and there were days when she felt like giving up. But Emily made a conscious decision to focus on the positives in her life. She started a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things she was thankful for each day. Some days, it was as simple as a kind word from a stranger or a beautiful sunset. Other days, it was the laughter of her children or a warm meal on the table. Over time, this practice of gratitude transformed Emily's outlook on life. Her situation hadn't changed, but her attitude had. She found that by focusing on what she had, rather than what she lacked, she was able to find happiness even in the midst of her struggles. The role of acceptance. Acceptance is another key element in finding happiness in every situation. There are some things in life that we simply cannot change, no matter how hard we try. Fighting against these realities only leads to frustration and unhappiness. Instead, by accepting them, we free ourselves from the burden of resistance and open the door to peace. John's story is a poignant example of this. After a serious accident left him paralyzed from the waist down, John faced a long and painful recovery process. At first, he was consumed by anger and despair. He couldn't accept what had happened to him and kept hoping for a miracle that would reverse his condition. But as time went on, John realized that his only path to happiness was through acceptance. He couldn't change his physical condition, but he could change his mindset. John began to focus on what he could still do rather than what he had lost. He became an advocate for people with disabilities, working to improve accessibility in his community. Through acceptance, John found a new purpose and a new way to be happy. Spreading happiness to others. Happiness is contagious, and one of the best ways to find it in every situation is by spreading it to others. Acts of kindness. no matter how small, can have a ripple effect that touches many lives. Consider the story of Sarah, who started a simple initiative in her neighborhood. Each week, she would bake a batch of cookies and deliver them to a different neighbor, just to brighten their day. What started as a small gesture quickly grew into a community-wide movement. Neighbors began doing small acts of kindness for one another, from mowing each other's lawns to running errands for the elderly. The entire atmosphere of the neighborhood changed, becoming more positive and supportive. Sarah's story shows that by focusing on making others happy, we often find happiness ourselves. In every situation, there is an opportunity to make a difference, to spread joy, and in doing so, to experience it more deeply. Conclusion: the choice of happiness. Ultimately, every situation be happy story is about the power of choice. We may not have control over what happens to us, but we always have a choice in how we respond. By choosing to find the good, to be resilient, to practice gratitude, to accept what we cannot change, and to spread happiness to others, we can cultivate a sense of joy that transcends our circumstances. In every situation, there is a story waiting to be told, a lesson to be learned, and happiness to be found. It's up to us to write that story, to see the silver lining, and to choose happiness every day. This piece highlights the idea that happiness is a mindset, and that it's possible to find it in any situation, no matter how challenging. It emphasizes the importance of perspective, resilience, gratitude, acceptance, and kindness in cultivating happiness.